time for another edition of Thumbs Up, Thumbs Down on RealAgriculture.com with myself, Shaun Haney, and Lyndsey Smith. Welcome today, Lyndsey.
Well, hello. Here we
This
go.
this is one of our more formal
Yes.
programs on this website.
There's a protocol. We'll be
There's a
posting that
protocol.
later.
Yes.
Everybody follow along at home. Yeah.
Very formal.
Yes.
Okay, thumbs up, thumbs down. Number one on our list is Plant 13 update. It is cold, it is wet, there is snow, and blah.
Blah. Black. So, how many? I need more thumbs for this. Plant 13 hasn't even started for most of us. Ontario is doing a little bit better, but even they are being plagued by some wet weather and some cool conditions. Snow in parts of the U.S. Midwest this past week and weekend. I don't know. Looking at the pictures this morning from friends of mine in Saskatchewan, like it's rough, and this isn't nice.
Well, even going across to Ontario, it was snowing last week as well. Like this is an issue across Canada. Yeah. And like you mentioned, into even the U.S. Midwest, and some of the pictures being shared on Twitter today under the Plant 13 hashtag are depressing.
A little bit.
There's people joking about I had to go outside twice to clean the snow off my satellite dish so I could keep watching cartoons.
Yes.
To time to do more maintenance in the shop. It is one ugly, ugly spring. Yeah,
and you know what's really kind of a kick in the pants is that like the weather doesn't look like it's straightening out over the next 7 to 10 days either. Like maybe it's looking like it's going to warm up a little bit, but there's still lots of moisture in the forecast. Those sorts of things. Like it's not nice. So what can you do?
Okay,
Can't
so what is this?
So
we're definitely giving it the big thumbs down.
Giant,
both of
huge.
us, octopus thumbs down here.
Yeah.
Soybeans in Western Canada. Obviously, farmers in Ontario aren't that concerned yet on how late we are. We're not, how late it looks like it's going to be or how far behind we are. But in Western Canada, there was a lot of hype about soybeans, which we've covered extensively.
Yeah.
What are we thinking there?
Well, I mean, it is still a crop that you wouldn't be putting in the ground now anyway, right? So the argument could be, hey, nothing changes because we're not going to be seeding it for a while. But if we're in for a rough, cold start, that means that we've got other crops that need to go in the ground first that you're obviously going to need to get in the ground. If this is the pattern that the growing season is setting up for, I don't care how daylight sensitive your soybeans are. If we're in for a short season, they need time, and so they may flower, but that doesn't mean they're going to set seeds. So I don't know. I mean, I know for the farmers that have been planting this crop here in Manitoba for many years, they will still have soybean acres. It's part of their rotation. But I think what's going to happen is those that were going to try it maybe for the first time this year, or maybe significantly bump acres, may not. So I don't think we're going to get that huge jump.
Yeah, I'm kind of going like this a little bit. Like, I'm optimistic about the potential for the crop in parts of Western Canada. Yeah. But this is turning out to be the year where we really want to see some caution. And, we've talked privately before about how there's a lot of concern from the industry, companies that have soybean seed, companies that have treatment, companies that have inoculants. They're very concerned about the expectations that farmers had going into the year.
Yes.
Never mind the snow and the cold and everything that we're facing right now. Yeah. I would say that be careful, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't want any wrecks. But all this discussion does bring us into a very important part of the segment. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Do you call it a bunny hug or a hoodie?
Well, I was in Kindersley when this came up. I was speaking at a GMAC event, and apparently, as many people will know, it's a bunny hug in Saskatchewan, along with some other words that I didn't understand, like other words for chocolate milk.
Vico.
But I'm going to go with hoodie. It's a hoodie.
Yeah, I think so too.
Even Bill Belichick, the coach of the Patriots, when he wears it, they don't say, "Look at Bill and his bunny hug." It's Bill and his hoodie. So I'm going to go, it's hoodie.
Yeah, it is a hoodie. Now, part of the reason we're talking about this, of course, is exciting week. Big thumbs up at RealAgriculture.com. Deborah Murphy joins our team this week. And she will be based in Saskatchewan and has had to learn very quickly Saskatchewanese. So
yeah, she's been really working on that.
Yeah,
she's been working on it. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know Deborah, you probably do know her if you're on Twitter. Her handle, her personal handle is Ag Deborah, and her Real Ag handle is going to be RealAg_Deborah. Yes. So we're very, very excited to have Deborah join the team.
Yes, and follow along. Now that of course brings up Bunny Hug, brings up bunnies, which brings up PETA. So this week, and I found this just eye-rolling offensive. Tommy Lee has come about and said, "Stop those chuck wagons at the Calgary Stampede." Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Well, thumbs down. This is kind of ironic. This is a guy that, his most, obviously he's one of the greatest drummers in rock history. Is very, very famous for a sex tape that he made with his wife at the time, Pamela Anderson. And of course, this is the connection, right? Pam is who's Canadian, is a huge, she worked for PETA almost. Yes. Like she's a spokesperson and she does that whole rigmarole. Yeah. And so I think he's sort of helping out his wife in their cause.
Yes.
He even invited the Premier of Alberta to come to the concert last night in Calgary, and they would talk about it.
Sure,
I'm pretty sure she didn't take him up on that. But yeah, thumbs down. Yeah. I think it's just old and tired celebrities. Yeah. Who he couldn't even tell you probably what a horse or a chuck wagon looks like. Yeah. He's lobbying, and I've got some other jokes around this topic that are probably too offensive for the audience.
Yeah, the fact that you've already brought up a sex tape has already made me uncomfortable. So,
my social media presentations, I bring up porn all the time.
I know, which is why I get asked to speak at different locations than you do.
This is
so. But you know what? This whole Tommy Lee thing, it does bring up. Celebrities are really good at singing, drumming, acting. Maybe they should just stick to it. And stay out of these ridiculous.
Well, maybe what Tommy Lee should do is he should be helping some of the farmers that are going to have this. They've got the farmer protest going on with the.
See now here's an actual thing to protest. Yesterday, there was a gathering of over 50 farmers who moved some of their equipment, tractors, those sorts of things, into the Portage Diversion. In protest, actually, to the Manitoba government, who was about to open the floodgates to divert some water away from Winnipeg and other towns downstream. These farmers are the ones that in 2011, 2 years ago, their land was flooded purposefully to save Winnipeg and to save other cities towns downstream. And these farmers have not yet necessarily been compensated or compensated fully. Some of this land is not part of a regular floodplain. Like, this is water that was diverted to Lake Manitoba that is far beyond what that lake really should have ever seen. Right. And the land just has not come back yet. So I was watching it kind of unfold on Twitter and those sorts of things. And they had moved the equipment in, and the province was going to open the gates anyway. They had taken the batteries out and the whole bit. And when the province said they would, the farmers went down there themselves, and a big group of them sat down in the diversion and said, "We're not going to go until the Premier meets with us." And I just, I absolutely feel for them. And this government, oh boy, they have. I recognize, and the farmers themselves, recognize that there are a lot more homes downstream, and so you've got to divert the water. And we have these things, but there has to be some sort of compensation and some sort of trade-off. You can't just park water on their land and ruin. Like, some of this pasture has not come back from 2 years ago. It was absolutely flooded and left.
Yeah, like, thumbs down on this one. And where's Tommy Lee when you need him here? Like, this is crazy.
They need to find themselves a rock star as
they need the Biebs. If the Biebs was there,
if only Justin Beaver, as my daughter would call him, would get involved in this protest, perhaps they would get their meeting with Premier Selinger.
Walking around with his shirt off. He was a Queen's Jubilee medal winner. Like, come on, you have to listen to that.
That's true, actually. He carries a lot of clout.
Utterly ridiculous that there's been no sort of help financially for pasture and farmland being flooded. Yeah, and it really it's once again another sign of here's where agriculture fits, even in Manitoba, where it still is a very, very important industry.
Yeah.
Where it sort of fits in the pecking order, because I'll tell you what, if we were washing out oil fields, you can surely bet that there would be some sort of compensation.
Yeah. Or it wouldn't happen at all. So, yeah. So, Manitoba government, thumbs down. Hardcore.
Thanks a lot, Lyndsey. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right.